What's good, all my Ruthless addicts? It is your girl, Tika Deshawn, and yes, I am here to bring you another Ruthless recap entitled Prophecy. So, the last time we left off from Ruthless, we saw that Daikon was in the process of punishing Paula and Lacey. However, Oliver decided to step in and he grabs Daikon's arm. Daikon looks at Oliver and says, "What are you doing?" And so, with that being said, you guys, there's a whole dialogue between Oliver and Daikon where Daikon is questioning, why did you grab my arm? Like, what were you thinking? And so Oliver decides to make up all of these excuses, saying that you didn't want, you wouldn't want the highest to hear what was going on. And finally, Oliver finally came out and said that the highest was upset that Melinda had went out and basically killed Deputy Polk. Um, at this point, that was his scapegoat. However, at the end of that conversation, because once again, first of all, Dicom says, "Well, why didn't you lead with that?" Okay, now I would have said that as well. However, Dicom being as heated as he was, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have stopped him from attempting to punish the two girls. Okay, so now with that being said, not just Lacey and Paula have been sent to the punishment trailer, but Oliver has been sent to the punishment trailer as well. Now, Clark escorted the two ladies to the punishment trailer. Then he came back, and Daikon said to make sure that Oliver went to the punishment trailer. With Clark and Oliver, quote unquote, being friends, um, Oliver thought that, Clark was going to, you know, say, "No, I'm not taking him to the punishment trailer," or that, maybe he's just tired or something like that. But nope. Clark, like I said, he is loyal, loyal, loyal to the Rockadushi from head to toe. He is so loyal. All the way to the point where he told Oliver that if he didn't walk himself to that punishment trailer, that he was going to shoot him. How crazy is that, you guys? Yeah, let me just tell y'all, that's just the beginning of this Ruthless episode entitled Prophecy. It really gets crazy. So continue to listen, okay, you guys? Hey, my addicts. This week's recap is brought to you by the author J.J. Edward, who has created the Power of 369 Affirmation Journal. The author writes, "If you understand the power of writing down affirmations, then you will appreciate this incredible affirmation journal I created. Writing down your affirmations 3 times a day is a powerful way to affirm and create your desired reality. I have provided for you guys a link in the description if you're interested in making a purchase. Also, if you're interested in getting to know a little more about the author, you can find him on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at James with a Purpose." All right, guys, let's get back to it. So we see Daikon going over to the Highest trailer. However, he stopped before he's allowed to enter by Manny, who's standing guard. And the Highest, he says he wants to see the Highest. And so Manny says, "Just hold on, let me announce you." So Manny goes into the trailer, knocks on the door of the trailer, and he says to the Highest, that is Daikon. So the Highest lets him in, or yeah, the Highest lets Daikon in, and when he enters, he is faced with one of the hardest punches that a person could ever imagine. I'm talking about harder than what he did to River and harder than what he did to Elder Mother Marva. Now, not only does the Highest punch Daikon, he you clearly see that River's body, which appears to be either lifeless or unconscious, is literally laid out on the floor. He has that gag that the Highest wrapped around his head on the previous episode. He has that still stuck in his mouth. His hands are tied. And the highest, I mean, they're literally just going on with this conversation as if River is not even there. The body of River, the whether he is lifeless or just unconscious, at this point we really don't know. But we see that River is not doing a whole lot of moving right now. So anyway, the highest, he's crying and he's telling Daikon, you weren't here for me, and the Daikon makes the excuse. He says that he was punishing the girls as well as the elder mother. Now, mind you, he didn't mention the fact that those girls knocked the power out of him with the chair. Okay, he didn't mention that part to the highest. Not at this point, anyway. I wouldn't say anything either. So anyway, yeah, the highest is Daikon and the highest are going back and forth, just saying how everything. I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to be here for you now. What is it that I can do to help? And basically, the highest kind of shuts Daikon down. It's like, don't worry about it. I have Andrew on it. Andrew is out. He's going to go and take care of it. I'm just waiting to hear from him. So Daikon asked the highest for Andrew's phone number. So he gives him the phone. Types in the phone number, but he can barely do it because he's just so frantic in that highest manner that he does. So Daikon takes the phone and he calls. He leaves a message with Andrew because, of course, Andrew's probably trying to get back to the Rockadush compound so that the highest doesn't take everybody out. Okay. So with that being said, we're pretty much just waiting on Andrew to make his way back to the Rakadushi compound. So Daikon says to the highest that he wants to go back to the kitchen to make sure that the cyanide or the little punch, the Rakadushi punch, is prepared. And of course, the highest goes into his temper tantrum. Don't leave me. Everybody always leaves me. One of those moments. And Daikon says, well, I'll send Manny in here with you, or I'll send Manny, for Ruth. So at this point, the highest just like, just go. And Daikon is trying to reassure him, I'm coming back. I'm coming right back. I just need to go and see and make sure everything is prepared. The highest also mentions to Daikon that he talked to Ruth, and Ruth told him that I should wait until Andrew returns. Now, when the highest said that he talked to Ruth, there was a pause in the way that Daikon looked at him, and he was like, "You mean you talked to? What do you mean you talked to Ruth?" And so he was just like, "Yeah, I talked to Ruth. She said I should just wait until Andrew." Um, Returns, and we'll go from there. Now, you all know that the highest and Daikon are messing with the same woman, literally the same girl, and Daikon is like, what are you doing talking to Ruth? You know what I mean? So we already know what the nature of that relationship is. But I just wanted to interject and, just let you guys know that that reaction that Daikon had to the highest saying that he spoke with Ruth, um, was hilarious. That's all I can say. So Daikon makes his way to the other trailer where Elder Mother Marva and Ruth are waiting. Now, mind you, before Daikon actually gets into the trailer, Elder Mother Marva is still upset. She's still a little frantic. And Ruth is like, do you want more of this special brew, this home brew, so you can calm down, so you can shut the heck up. But at this point, Marva's just like, no, because what if the highest wants to speak to me? And then she asks her, can you smell it on me? Can you smell the alcohol on me? And of course, Ruth tells her no, but I'm pretty sure because she was hitting that little container, that little mayonnaise jar. Y'all, let me tell y'all something real quick. My grandmother used to drink. She would use the old mayonnaise jars and put cold water in it, or put water in it, then put it in the freezer, and she would sit outside in the hot sun and drink out of her little cold water container. It looked like a whole mayonnaise jar, y'all. But anyway, I just felt like telling y'all that. I thought that was hilarious to me. But anyway, I digress. Let me go back to the story. So, she talks, she's talking to her elder mother, asking that she want the alcohol or whatever. Elder mother says no. And then, of course, thankfully, she said no because Daikon walked in. And of course, y'all, this is Daikon's moment to shine. He is so hyped and ready and willing to give elder mother Marva the business. He calls her stupid. You should have listened, just going in on her, and he finally got his little bit of shine, his little bit of moment to shine and to go up against Elder Mother Marva. Now, Elder Mother Marva leaves out of the trailer, and then he goes, Darkhan is standing there still talking to um Ruth. Now, in the midst of Daikon, Marva, and Ruth's conversation, um Ruth was interjecting. She was saying, yo, she didn't know, and she was, basically trying to help her out a little bit. Even though this woman has talked trash to her this entire time, she was really trying to, just give her, spare her a little bit. But at the end of the day, Daikon was with it. Like I say, he was willing to give her the business, and he gave it to her. So anyway, Elder Mother Marva, she departs from the trailer. Daikon and Ruth are left to have that conversation. Basically, um, Daikon he tells Ruth, make sure it's prepared, and she says it's prepared. Speaking of the punch that they're supposed to be making, she says it's prepared. Now I'm trying to figure out how exactly, if y'all really needed this stuff, how is it really prepared? Because we do recall that Oliver and Tally threw the cyanide away last week, right? Y'all do remember that, okay? Yes. So in the previous episode, they threw it out. So anyway, Ruth is there saying, yes, it's prepared. It's right here, just waiting on the siren. Okay. Um, and also she says, well, I spoke to the highest and I told them, we should just wait until to see what Andrew can do. And of course, Daikon in his jealous mode, says to Ruth, what are you doing? What are you doing talking to the highest? And how did you tell him, or what did you tell him? I guess he wanted to insinuate that, which he not only did he insinuate, he said, you can't tempt the highest with your seduction. Now, Ruth was too scared to be able to seduce anybody. Now, she tried, but she was too afraid of what the highest was really going to do at this point. Now, basically, I guess Daikon really just went to the trailer to get a little straightening, as they say, you guys. To let Ruth know, stop talking to the highest. And then he says, you're the only one that I love, and you're the only one that I have, and I'm not, basically, I'm not messing around, or I'm not having sex with the highest. Now, of course, Daikon, being Daikon, was like, woman, basically, just stay away from me. Don't talk to me. Don't keep trying to seduce me. And let's us just stop, go our separate ways, because it's gonna get us in trouble. Okay. So, Ruth, being Ruth, trying to convince herself that Daikon is really gullible and falling for what it is that she's trying, and not falling for the okey doke, but he really thinks that she loves him. And then Daikon leaves out the trailer, and then in walks Tally. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. When you see a dead man walking, you literally see the everything, all the willpower and everything that Tally had inside of her. She has literally lost everything. She proceeds to tell Ruth that she has killed Yancy. She proceeds to telling him. She said that, and then she also says that, I told Oliver, basically, because Oliver saw me, and I had to explain to him what was going on. She said, I'm just gonna take Tavia, and we're gonna leave. We're leaving this Rockadusha compound, and her will, she still have an ounce of will. However, her will is nowhere near as strong as the very beginning. Tally has fallen into a place where she has just really just given up, and she just wants out. She wants to leave the Rockadusha compound. So in the midst of Tally's letting Ruth know that she was leaving, she also lets Ruth know that Tally, that Andrew killed William, and she has no one there, no one else there, no one that can help her. So at this point, she was just willing to risk it all, take her chances, and get the heck out of that Rakadusha compound. She told Ruth, you can come too. Like I don't have to just leave by myself. We can come together. We can leave together. You have that money at Barry's house, right? So we could leave. Now here we go mentioning the money. We know that on the Oval, that money that Barry has been snatched up by the Rakadushi. He took a portion of that money and gave it to the Rakadushi. However, he took some of it and took it out and left some of that at his home. Now, on the latest episode of The Oval, Barry got fooled again by the Rakadushi. One of the female Rakadushi cult members, he, decided he was going to sleep around with this lady, and she ended up getting them. She basically ended up getting the rest of that money from Barry. Now, at this point, y'all, we know the Oval and Ruthless have not really caught up to one another. We're hoping before the season ends that it does catch up so we can understand a little bit more. However, at this point, the ladies are talking about there's money there that they can get, at Barry or from Barry. That's basically what Tally is saying. So now this leads me to speculate that Tally is gonna, once she does try to escape, she's going to try to go to Barry's house for that money. But of course, that money's not going to be there, which is why she's going to end up killing herself. Now, okay, I could be wrong, but it's just me speculating and thinking this is what could possibly happen. All right. Okay, guys, let's move on. Okay, you guys. So thankfully, Andrew has returned to the Rockdishie compound along with Melinda. Um, he says, he says to Daikon, because he pulls up to the Highest trailer, and he says to Daikon that he wants to go in and, talk to the Highest. So Daikon says, okay, let's go ahead on inside. But Daikon remembers that body, or the body, I don't know if it's lifeless or if it's unconscious, but the body of River is still laying on the floor. So Daikon goes in advance and says to the Highest, Andrew is back. And he says, okay, we'll send him on in. And Highest coked out, basically. But he says to, Daikon says to the Highest, but don't you think we should move River? Like, don't you think we need to move his body? So basically, they go ahead, they pick up River's body, they take it into the back room of the Highest's trailer. Now, Andrew enters into the Highest's trailer and he lets them know that everything has been handled. He took care of it. Basically, he didn't give them exact details as to how it was done, but he did take care of it. He made sure that he knew that none of it would fall back on him, or the Rakadushi compound, or anybody Rakumas. He made sure that the Highest was confident that none of this that Melinda had done would be, would be any backlash to him. Now, after the Highest is assured, then Melinda comes into the trailer and she literally falls into her knees and goes into this whole giggle. Of course, Elder Mother Marva is like still apologetic. I'm sorry. And Highest is like, why is she laughing? There's really nothing funny about this situation, but Melinda is so pleased to be at the feet of the Highest that's why she falls into laughter and gives, her giggles and everything like that. So they tell her to stand up. The Highest tells her to stand up, and she does. She stands up, and she explains to the Highest, what happened. That she and Poe got into a tussle. She grabbed a knife and she stabbed him. And the Highest says, "Wow, how much do you weigh?" And Melinda said to the Highest, "I don't know." But the Highest said, "Well, dang, that's commendable that someone your size could, kill someone." And she was like, "Thank you, your Highest." Like, she thought she had did something really good, y'all. She really thought she had done something good. The Highest said, but oh, you will be punished. So Melinda had to go. She was sent to a punishment trailer. I knew there was gonna be trouble for Melinda, but sis is in the punishment trailer. With that being said, Elder Mother Marva has regained favor with the highest. She has calmed down. That whole little demeanor that she had prior to thinking that she was in trouble has returned. She's still that uptight elder mother Marva, that snob, that I'm better than you because I'm in favor with the highest. Yes, that attitude of elder mother Marva has returned. The highest just said, that I'm surprised though at this point because they say that everybody who's responsible, if you're responsible for this individual, then you're supposed to be killed, or not killed, but punished. And I guess him slapping Marvel was enough punishment at this point. So he sends her on her way. By the way, you guys, the heist proceeds to tell Andrew that if any of this comes back on him, he's going to take it out on Andrew's son. Now, we know Andrew is not with that. He doesn't want anything to happen to his son. And so hopefully the little plan that he and Matt had together will actually work. Okay, you guys? So not only did the highest send Andrew out of the trailer, but he sent him. He said, "I know you haven't eaten yet, but I need you to go back to that house. I need you to make sure that there are no cameras, that none of this stuff comes back on me." Now, with that being said, how do you know, your highest, that the doorbells have cameras now? He made sure he let Andrew know, you gotta be careful because they have cameras in the doorbells these days. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he's referring to a ring. However, it's like the highest telling the FBI like something they already know. All right, you guys. I just wanted to jump in and add that. Okay, so the highest proceeds to say, all right, of course he has sent Andrew on his way. Melinda has been sent to the punishment trailer. He lets Daikon know that there needs to be a meeting. Basically, he wants to talk to everybody on the Rockadusha compound. He said that the reason why all of this stuff is going on is because people are having sex on this Rockadusha compound. Now, we all know every person that was in that room at the time that the highest said that being Andrew, that being Nikon, and that being the highest, have all had sex on the Rockadusha compound. So at this point, all of them are guilty. But at the end of the day, of course, the highest is not going to take blame. Not to mention the fact that you literally just sodomized the river and have him laid out on the floor or laid in the back room somewhere. So, if anything, you're the cause as to why the Rockadusha compound is failing the way that it is. And plus, you too high to pay attention. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to add that part to this review. Also, now they make their way out to the pavilion, and when I say everybody was out there at the pavilion, yes, everyone was out there at the pavilion. You had our girl Tally, you had our girl Ruth, you had Elder Mother Marva, you had everybody from the Rockadooshi. Now, this week we were introduced to two new characters, okay? We were introduced to Jay and we were introduced to Bonita. Jay and Bonita obviously have been having sex on the Rockadoosh compound. So when the highest asked, he's sitting there saying, I know that people have been having sex on this Rockadoosh compound. This is why the government was here. This is why we're having all of the problems that we're having. And I know who it is. And I just want the people who've been having sex, I want you to just speak up. Now, the highest, so some kind of way, this man knows all, some kind of way. So anyway, he's, chanting, Rakuma, show me the way, Rakuma, show me the way, Rakuma, show me the way. Then he points to what we thought was Ruth, but in actuality, he was pointing behind Ruth. Now, mind you, Ruth looks over at Daikon and is getting ready to stand up, but Tally grabs her by her sleeve as to say, "No, don't move. He's not talking about you." So the girl who is sitting behind Ruth who was named Bonita, she stands up and she confesses that she has been having sex with someone on the Rockadusha compound. And the highest says, well, where's the coward that you've been having sex with? At this point, Jay has not, he does not want to own up to it, but he goes ahead and he owns up to it. Now, when I tell you the highest just did some sadistic SHI XX, I'm not gonna curse all. Anyway, the highest did some sadistic type situation. Okay, he had Jay and Bonita to basically unrobe. He had them literally take off their clothes, but mind you, he did have a little bit of respect for the children of the Rockadusha compound. He sent the children away, but back to what he had Bonita and Jay do. He basically had them unrobe, take their clothes off, and basically he told them to, since y'all felt like y'all didn't have any self control, y'all should just take the clothes off, have sex right here. And of course, with hundreds of people looking at them, nobody's getting stimulated, and nobody is trying to have sex right there in front. So the highest says lay down on the floor. First of all, before he tells them to lay down on the floor, he tells Bonita to basically help Jay get stimulated. Now, basically what he just did was literally a public humiliation for anybody that's on the Rockadusha compound. He basically was trying to make an example out of them and show them that what you're doing on this Rockadusha compound, you will get caught. So don't do it, in other words. Okay, so like I said, he had them lay down on the floor of the pavilion, and of course Jay couldn't perform. So they didn't have sex, but they still open, butt wide open. He hanging and she got boobs hanging. Yeah, they were naked, literally naked, naked. Don't ask me if Jay had on a prosthetic. I don't know. At the end of the day, but it looked real. The highest, he was sadistic. He went crazy. He went over the top with his punishment. So with that being said, the highest asked, Bernice, are you not happy here? Like what's really the deal? Like, and so I'm sorry, her name is Bonita, y'all. Her name is Bonita. I hope I got that right. Bonita. So anyway, Bonita, she asked, he asked Jay, brother Jay, are you happy here? And brother Jay, he says, yes, I'm happy, or yes, I am, which was a lie because Sister Bonita, nah, she turned that whole situation around and was like, no, we're not happy here. Just tell the truth. So she told him, told the highest how she felt. And, the highest was, of course he was with it. So he said, is there anybody else here that doesn't want to be here? And so a few more people in the back come up. And then Tally, being one of those people in the front, she stands up and, she says she's one of those people too. And the highest says, Sister Tally, that surprises me. But why should it surprise you, your highest? Why should it surprise you? You've beaten this woman or had her beaten multiple times. So why should it even surprise you that she wants to leave the Rockadusha compound? So with that being said, he tells them, okay, you all can leave. And they proceed to walk out. However, Tally says, I'm not leaving unless I have my daughter with me. Now, in my mind, I'm like, girl, I understand you want your daughter, but like, you should start running before this man changes his mind. But nope, Tally being the mother that she is, a mother's love, y'all. She was like, nope, I'm not leaving until I have my daughter with me. The highest says to Tally, your daughter belongs to us, and that's the bottom line. So you can leave, but at the end of the day, you're not taking your daughter with you. So Tally, like I said, still protesting. She wants her daughter. She ends up getting hit in the head by Elder Mother Marble. That's up. Because she hit her hard. She hit the floor. And at this point, Brother Jay And Benita are like, girl, just go. Let's go while we have a chance before he, before he changes his mind. So they're, trying to, make their way off of the Rockdusha compound. So the Highest makes his way back to his trailer, he and elder mother Marva. At this point, the Highest is sulking and pacing, going back and forth. He is upset because those people said that they want to leave the Rockadusha compound. He went into a whole temper tantrum, acting like a little child. I've given them everything. Why don't they want to be here? No, your Highness, you haven't given them everything. You haven't given them freedom. Literally, everything you've done, you've controlled them by the nature of messing, by giving them drugs in their food. Therefore, people have awakened and are ready to get away from you. So, Marva decides to tell the Highest, well, you know what you have to do. You're the Highest. You are strong. You know what you have to do. And they cannot just leave without being made an example of. So at this point, Elder Mother Marva has given Highest the courage, the motivation, basically to punish these people for wanting to leave. They want to leave the Rockadusha compound, but now they're going to be punished. It's going to be a punishment in order to get off that Rockadusha compound. And you saw the way that the Highest punished the last group of people that decided to want to leave off the Rockadusha compound. Those people were literally slaughtered. So that's it. That's really what happened. That's really everything that happened in this episode, you guys. Um, we're gonna see. We're looking forward to, absolutely looking forward to a new episode. As always, this was episode 14, entitled Prophecy. So, like I said, next week we're gonna see what happens next. It's ruthless, y'all. It's getting more and more and more ruthless. Okay, all right, y'all. Well, that's about it for me. I just wanted to make sure I came through you guys with this review, this recap. I hope that I was able to answer a lot of your questions. If I didn't, if I missed something, please drop below in the comments and let me know if I missed something or if there's something you had a question about. Just let me know. Hit your girl up in the comments and let me know. And also, you can also reach me over on Instagram. I will go live every Fridays as well to talk about the show Ruthless. I will go live on my Instagram page, which is Original TP Ruthless Fans, as well as on my Facebook, in my Facebook group, which is entitled Tyler Perry's Ruthless Fans. We will be doing tweeting as well. That on over on Twitter, we are at TP Ruthless Fans. And you'll be able to find the remainder of this review on Spotify. So for your friends that don't have YouTube or don't have access to YouTube, you can also find me at All Things Ruthless, as well as it is also called All Things Ruthless, as well as Ruthless Conversations over on Spotify. The link will definitely be in the description of this video, you guys. All right, y'all. It's been a long night, and I will be talking to you guys soon. Y'all have a great weekend. Let you inside. Why? Unless you really prove that you gon' ride. When the sun goes down, we run the